Hey, welcome back. It's been a while. I haven't really done some updates because just I was making my portfolio like a spreadsheet, Google Sheets, and I was just like been quite busy. So this is my newest update. So I passed the 10,000 threshold, and this has actually been my biggest month. So I've received £27 in dividends, which is massive. It's the most I've received so far. And surprisingly, my British dividends are almost exactly the same as my US ones. So I got about £13.60-ish in US dividends and about 14.20-ish or something in British dividends. So very close, surprisingly. Yeah, if you're new to the channel, I'd really appreciate if you did a subscribe and a like. If you shared it, that would also be great. So this is not financial advice, but I'm hoping this is going to be useful to some people. So I'm just sharing everything I know so far. And if it helps you, then that's great. That's all I wanted to do. So this is my portfolio. I'm improving things as I go. So first, I'm going to show you so far. So I've got £66.35 in dividends since I started investing on trading 212. I changed to them in January. So I got my first dividends in February. So my biggest dividend so far this month is, I think Realty Income, or was it Microsoft was pretty big. So I have 5 shares of them. I'm gonna Legal in General. That was my biggest one this month. So £6.70. They didn't count. I have like 88 shares now, but I think this is about 50. Yeah, so you can see things have just been going like a proper yo-yo all over the place. So up in the positive, negative, like doesn't know where it is. It's a bit of a mess. Okay, so I do have a lot of stocks. I've mentioned this before, and I generally I have them to follow rather than them being in my watch list. It's a little bit easier for me to follow them, and I think it's better if I have them, I can sell at some point later. So I have my priority stocks, which are AGNC. This company has been making some big changes. They know how vulnerable they've been with coronavirus, and they're just trying to improve things, get them going. So I have 39 shares at an average price of $15.80 or £12.37. So I'm actually waiting until it gets to around 10 or so, and I might get one, possibly 6 more. This is a monthly REIT, so it pays monthly 12 times a year. So I've been getting about £3 or more. So they've reduced their dividend just so they can settle things and change their plans, prioritize where they're spending the money. So that's great, actually. So it used to be higher, which is fine. They'll go back to that at some point. But at the moment, I get more from this for less than Realty Income, and they're doing pretty well financially. So they're not doing amazing right now, but they're doing fine. So I'm happy with them. And AT&T, a massive company, a conglomerate. So this one is they want to be a dividend king. So they're working their way up. I think it's about 25 or so years of consistent dividend increases. So at the moment it's like I think it's a 7% yield. And it is actually quite sustainable. There's been talk when they changed management that they were thinking about, let me just check. Recording, yeah. Okay, so when they changed management, they wanted to prioritize, the new management wanted to continue to prioritize the dividends, and there was talk about ending it for a short period so they could actually get rid of their debt, which would be possible within a couple of years. But actually, they want to try and do both at the same time. And I think that's possible. So they've launched HBO Max, which is picking up steam. It does have a lot of potential with movie studios behind it. They're thinking about, it isn't confirmed yet, but they're thinking of selling their gaming division. which makes up less than 1% of their company. So I'm personally not a fan of this because I think this is a growing industry, but they should get like 4 billion or so. I think they're putting it up for sale, which I think is still quite cheap for how much it should be. So I'm predicted. So on the next dividend with my 28 shares, I should be getting about £10 in dividends and around a total-ish of about £50 a year. So I want to get this up to 30 and then I'm fine with that. I just see if they drop much lower, then that's great. AbbVie, I'm desperate to get at least 10 of these. Amazing company, managed very well. They just done a merger. So this is a biopharmaceutical company. My average price is $80 or £63, 7.1 shares. They pay quite a high dividend as well. So last time I think I got £6 in dividends from them, and that's 4 times a year. AMD, this one, they've been doing okay throughout this whole situation. And when they do recover, I can see like big things happening. They've made a lot of contracts, doing quite well. So that there's a launch of the gaming consoles coming out. Server rooms have been in high demand, so they're actually like expanding their industry. So they're making a lot of long-term contracts and in reinvesting. So they don't pay a dividend, but they do invest for growth. This is a growth stock. So I have 12.1 shares, so £37.81. Great company. So always making money, basically. Google, don't have a lot of this, but I know they continue to increase, so I just kind of had a little bit just to make some. So 23% of this, 0.01 shares, which is not much. So if I rounded up to 1 share, it would be about $943 a share. So when I bought it, and you can see how much it just rapidly increased. So I bought it like at the low end here, somewhere around here. So that was in March. Apple, so they've been doing great. They're one of the FAMG companies. So they've been maintaining the stock market, keeping it high at the moment. So them, Facebook, Microsoft, Amazon, and Google. So they've been doing fine, not really struggled too much. They have their loyal fan base. So 0.25 shares and £227 a share. BP, to be honest, so these oil stocks, they do pay really good dividends, but I'm getting less and less confident about how long these oil stocks can last. I know that BP and Shell have been investing in renewable energy, so they are looking at being sustainable for the future. But at the same time, I don't know if that's also going to be as profitable. I think in the short to long term, it's pretty safe stock. So I'm just thinking about how long I should hold these oil stocks. So I have 40 shares, £3.82. But I'm definitely not going to sell this at a loss. So if I do decide to sell it, it'll have to be later on when it goes up, which will happen. These building companies aren't doing great. So as you can see, no one's really going to be paying exorbitant amount of money at the moment. So Boeing's been smashing it. I wish I had 4, but I got it at a pretty good price anyway. So my average price is £119 for 3.7 shares. So I bought into this when it was actually low, and I'm quite happy with that. It still has a long way to go, and at some point in the long term, this is going to go back. So I'm going to make a massive profit if I do decide to sell this. Carnival, I heard that they wanted to begin doing cruises in August, but I'm not sure if they had to change that plan yet. I need to look into that. But that speculation actually increased the stock quite a bit. But they have enough staying power to survive at least a year, so I shouldn't really worry about them too much. I think they're fine. World. So, I was a bit peeved. Like, I got really bad timing on this. So I bought into it when it was 36 pence. I bought one share, and then I noticed it just increased to 78, and I was so annoyed with. I just missed the opportunity. If I bought this same amount of shares, I would have like increased my profits so much. I actually just bought this to sell it, and hopefully it comes back down, and I know this will rebound. Let's see. So Cloudflare, great company. I didn't really get into them too much. I'm just waiting for a good price if I do decide to get back into this. And Coca-Cola, pretty safe, dividend king. Pretty reliable, but they're not going to be like making it rain. Like, so don't think of them as that. But pretty safe, reliable. They can always change the direction in the future, but for the moment, I'm pretty satisfied with them. And so Cross Timbers Royalty, this is a monthly REIT. Don't really prioritize them too much, but they give me like some decent funds every month. So I get about £3 from them every month. Well, I think it's actually about £1.50, sorry. So average price $7, which is pretty close to the current price. Let's see. Actually, I bought this company. I do like their sausage rolls, but to be honest, I bought them because they have the same name as me, which is not really how you should be buying stocks. But I kind of got a bit personal with that one. So I do like their sausage rolls, and they're gonna do fine, I think. A favorite, and they've been expanding throughout the UK up until this situation happened. So, let's see, Johnson Johnson. I got 2 shares of them. Legal & General. So this was my big earner of the month. So they pay twice a year, and I got. I think I had 40 shares, and they paid me about almost £6 in dividends. So I could have doubled that if I bought 88 shares pre-ex dividend date, which is the last date you can buy shares before they stop counting it. So after ex dividend date, they don't count those shares that you buy post ex date. So my average is 218 pence or £2.18. So right now it's actually lower, which is good. So I want an opportunity if I can lower my average. I'm probably going to get to 100, and I'm pretty fine with that. I might not increase it more than that. I might start just focusing on other companies, but I'll be satisfied with 100 of this. Same with Lloyd's. I just want 1,000, and I'm taking my time getting there. So probably I'll get like maybe 20 more when it gets to 30 pence. It's going to be quite a while before this increases, but at some point it will return. Let's see, Microsoft. So this is my biggest holding, my favorite. So one of the FANG companies. So that's like Microsoft, Facebook, Amazon, Apple, Google, and they've been doing incredible. They've actually benefited from this situation. So one of the few companies that have actually continued to increase during this time. So all their cloud services, they've been on a massive acquisition shopping spree. So acquiring lots of AI companies, like investing in their cloud platform. They've made a lot of contracts. They've acquired a lot of companies, spending billions actually, and they still have plenty of cash left over. So their revenue acceleration, I think, was exponentially more than let's see, the two behind them was Amazon and Google, and they had twice as much revenue as them, like from this period. their sales growth is also the highest 5-year sales growth out of the FANG companies. So pretty much most things. And Amazon have less debt than them, but besides that, they're not. They don't have too much, not much to worry about. So I'm fine with them. Nikola, there's a very speculative buy, same as there's a new company that's similar to them. So these are, people call them like a Tesla copy, which to some degree they are, but they're trying to prioritize working on trucks, and it's renewable energy, so electricity mixed with hydrogen. Let's see. So Tesla, I shouldn't have sold them quite a long time ago. I used to have 0.17 shares, and I didn't think they was going anywhere. And that was when there was about 600. Now they got to about 1,000 and just did a drop. So I'm gonna keep to them. And let's see, Wells Fargo. So this is like a great time to buy them. So they will rebound. They will do fine. I'm pretty sure about that. And I've looked at their financials. They're doing fine. Same with Disney. Anyway, so I'm going to get back to this. So yeah, that was just my attempt at doing a quick update, even though it wasn't too quick. Hopefully you liked it. So let me know what you think. I do want to try and do some different videos in the future, but I guess this was just to kind of like top up my recent one. So yeah, please like and subscribe, and I'd appreciate a comment or let me know what you think. So how are your portfolios doing, and are you surviving quite well? How is everything? So thank you. It's great.